Hey, this is Nimbus Intuition, and this is tea time. So I've been away for a while, so I wanted to do it this way to get my little sea legs back and everything since it's been a while. And so here I am. Not sure how this is going to play out tonight. However, I wanted to come through and show some love for everybody and just show up, and say, hey, and I love you, and I'm here. And um, if you're wondering, I'm here. And so let's get started off thinking about good things, pleasant things, things that make you smile, things that make you laugh, things that make you feel good. Whatever it is that makes you smile till your cheeks hurt. Ooh, whatever makes you fall over laughing, whatever makes you feel like you're floating on a cloud, think about that, think about that, think about that, think about that. All right? Keep thinking about that. And that's how we get started. All right, so this is just sort of like a check-in since I haven't been around for a while. And so um, just kind of hanging out with y'all tonight. All right. And so I hope everybody out there is well and doing well. As the calendar year changes, everybody, well, a lot of people have a good energy for the new year, the new season, the new whatever it is that you're into, starting fresh. 2023 is here on the calendar, and so that reflects new things, new possibilities, a new experience. And so a lot of times we look forward to that, and that's the regular. And so how is it going for you so far? Now, I don't really get behind the resolution thing. Have you done your vision board for 2023 yet? And what have you done to kind of get that into motion as far as whatever you want 2023 to look like? Now, I got to go back a step or two because before we get into 2023, let's, just briefly revisit 2022. Have you gone over your scripting, your scripts? All right. I think that's something that we should, put into regular practice, going over the scripts, not to do it right now, just to go over and reflect. So look at your script for 2022, because we did this starting in 2021. So get your script out. Go back to right before 2022 began. Look at what it is that you set forth to make happen in 2022. Look at the things that you wanted to get, coming to fruition. Some of the things that you wanted to see for yourself. Some of your visualizations. All of those things should have been in your script. Now, if you've been scripting through the year, the last script should have been probably around November. Depends on you, of course. So look at that and look at those two entries right before 2022 began and then your last scripting and see what happened. And so I guess I need to add a portion in there as far as reflecting on the things that has happened. And this is time to do it. Okay. And so I guess what I need to ask is what has come into fruition from that entry from the start of this last year that we're leaving? What is coming to fruition? What visions have taken place? What visions are you closer to? Even if it's baby steps to now. We know that, this is the way life works. Sometimes we're blessed with everything happening at once, and sometimes it happens subtly. We see progress. We see hints and different, ideas of things going the way we want it to go, going in direction that we want it to go. we see improvements and different things that give us indications that yes, we are on the right track and things are headed toward the direction we want them to head in. So, it's a good time to just jot that down. Like, this is the things that have happened. These are the things that have come into fruition. These are the visions that I can see taking off, taking place. These are the steps that are happening that I can see, I can witness, and I can feel the changes that are going on. And these not all tangible things. And so some of these things will be from your mental and your emotional life as well. And so, but jot it down. Don't miss the chance to, appreciate those things. So look at it, notice where those things have happened. And also you might want to put, why these things came into fruition. I put myself out there and I began to do such and such, and then these blessings came my way because I changed something that I was doing, or I did more of something else, or my attitude was better, or whatever it was that helped bring about the change. Because a lot of times when we put ourselves in situations, that allows the universe to help us get to the things or closer to the things that we are visualizing for. And so jot that down, write that down. These are the things that have happened and maybe some of the reasons why, and just, this is a good time to do that. And so, if you would share those things that are happening, those things that you can see, those things that you can feel, that you can recognize about improvements and changes and things that are happening for you with your visualizations. And get ready for the next time around, because, I'm really focusing on right now in this moment. And so what we want to do in this moment is just reflect. And so go ahead and reflect. And then, like I said, appreciate those things, celebrate those things, and, really take in this journey that you're on, because it is a journey. Everything is a journey. If things hadn't gone well, reflect on that as well. And don't discount that, because things may not have gone well does not mean that your visions are not on the way. Sometimes it happens that way. Sometimes we take a couple steps back and then we go fast forward. So don't discount things. Just take things in as they are and keep going. Keep being positive about things. Keep visualizing for your future. Keep speaking those things out. Remember, I believe in, putting those visuals in as well as going out and trying to experience some of what you want to visualize. Is what you want to come into fruition, not only the visualizations. Okay, so all those things to talk about, which of course I will continue to, keep doing that. And so it's an ongoing process, and you'll see, as you will in this exercise of reflecting, that things are happening. Small as they want to be to as big as they want to be. Things are happening. And so celebrate. All right. And so, jumping on, that's the one thing I'm thinking about as the calendar changes, and, that we may want to do. These moments are the moments that make our lives. And so sometimes we don't take time to just reflect and say, okay, I can see that. All right. I have my visualization say that I will be increasing the amount of activities I have in my social life, for instance. And I can see from the beginning of the visualizations from last year to now that that's happening. Is instead of not doing things for long periods of time. I'm doing things more often, and more opportunities to do more social things are happening. And so that's just an example. It can be anything, but this is just, me trying to give an example. Right. And so these are the things that we can reflect on. And so, yeah. And so it goes. Here we go in 2023. Now, that's, I didn't have a plan when I came on here. I just wanted to come on here, pop on here since it's been a while. And so I've been in conversations about different things, and lots been on my mind. And I just want to know how people are doing, There's a lot going on in the world as usual, a lot going on around us. And I just think it's a different vibe around for just everything. I got some posts that I haven't shared yet. I just, feel the difference in the vibe. And so I wonder what is it for you? Do you feel a different vibe as you go, about your day to day and your regular activity? Do you just feel it in the air? What is it for you? Or is it, just same old same for you? Just, share that. But for me, just a different feeling. I just know that, the change is here for the world, I think. And it's just a feeling that's in the air. And so it's exciting. It's exciting. So I'm just checking in. I got a lot going on, and I'm gonna try to check in at least as I figure out how I'll be coming to you going forward. I don't want to really talk about it, but I'm here, and so and I shall be here. Some things are changing, just like everything else. However, I'll let y'all know, and I'll inform you as I make the changes that I have in mind to make. Right now, you may see me a little less until I, finalize how I'm going to do things. However, I'm here. So reach out if you feel the need, and I'll try to, my best to get back with you when I'm able and everything. Yeah. And so I got some questions for y'all, because since I've been going a while, this is what it is. And so the other thing I'm wondering for everyone is, have you been doing your inner work? Now, I tried to do a shadow work video right before, I haven't been around, and it went screwy or whatever, but I'm going to touch on that again, coming up. But don't forget that I have Inner Work Journal podcast. If you ever want to do some inner work real quick and you don't want to grab your journals or do anything, well, you can go ahead to Inner Work Journal and the Inner Work Journal podcast, and go ahead real quick and do a 10 or 15 minute segment with me to get back into it, or just do it with me. All right. But I think it's so important to do that inner work. And so I'm gonna ask, have you been doing your inner work? It's so helpful. And so I hope you're doing that. What else I want to ask you? I want to ask you how you are, like, in general. And that's where I was trying to do with the shadow work. But like I said, we're going to touch on it again. So I'm not going to, go there too much. And just how is it? How are your 4Fs going? How's your family going? How are your finances going? How your fun is going? And how's your fitness going? Those are the 4Fs, I always talk about. How's that going for you? I know this is the time that we start thinking about those things again, since the calendar is different and everything. And so, how are those going? I kind of got to touch on the fitness part a little bit more than um, I usually do. And so, who out there is with me on that one? Um, but all of those areas I think are key areas. So, how is it going for you? Other than that, let me see. What else I want to ask you? Just how you been? Because when I'm not on here, and I tell you all the time, because I do take my times where y'all don't see me for a while. When I do wonder how it is going, and I do miss coming on here. Um, I really do. And so, yeah. It's one topic that I had in mind. I was talking about it earlier today a little bit. And I don't want to sound repetitive because it's something that I talk about kind of often, I think. And I kind of wanted some opinions from you all about it as well. And so if you have an opinion, feel free to share. I guess I'll pose it as a question since I'm asking questions today. Are you able to, when you look at your family around you, your friends around you, even your family around you, are you able to allow people to be who they are? Is that something that you even think about or even know whether you or not you are doing or not? Like, I was thinking about this because it was a little talk about it a little bit that I had earlier. Can you allow people to be who they are and not try to force them to be who you want them to be? And I think it's a tricky kind of situation to think about. Like if there's someone around you um, who does something that like maybe gets on your nerves. Um, Let me see. I'm gonna think of a scenario. So it makes me think about Thanksgiving because when Thanksgiving comes around, and well, the traditional Thanksgiving that we all know about, when family comes over and shares a meal, you usually have people from the extended family around you, and it's everybody around you. And with most families, we have that person that we can pick out of the family who does such and such and such and such. So everybody has that one person in their family who drinks a lot, right? Now you got one family member who is very animated, and you got one family member who is really exciting, has very good stories to tell, and is always telling them. And you got the one family member who, and you can fill a blank in because it's usually, specific roles that is in every family because that's the commonalities. That's how life is. And so do we try to change those people or do we allow those people to be who they are? And I'm going to go back to the Thanksgiving example because that's where we have everybody around us. Another scenario is if I'm thinking maybe college life, you got a lot of different people around you all at once. Maybe another time, if you've done anything where there's a lot of people, a lot of different personalities around you, any kind of school setting maybe, or if you've done military service, or if you join some large type of group, then you would know this kind of scenario where there's so many different personalities coming together at one time. Now the question that I'm asking is, are you able to allow people to be who they are, or are you the person who's trying to change people? Okay, and so let me go to the scenario of the person who is now I want to go other than Thanksgiving. Let's go to the college. The college. No, I don't like those examples. Let me try a different one. Okay, so let's say it's a scenario where, okay, you have a lot of personalities around you, and you all have to spend maybe a couple of months around each other. Maybe it's a work experiment, and you all have to spend this time together. So you have certain personality types. Um, Somebody who, you know, I don't know. I gotta kind of think of different quirks and personalities that may get on somebody's nerves, something like that. Um, Maybe somebody has a tick and they do this with their nails when they're thinking or something, or there's somebody around who wants to walk around in a which is a tank tee, and that might be disturbing to somebody. Or I mean, it could just be so many different scenarios, and it's kind of hard for me to kind of pinpoint because I don't really want to really want to. But all right, so do you allow these people to be, to have the quirk that they run their fingernails across there, and or that person who decides that they want to, I don't know, I want to say party every night, and knowing they have to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning, or that person who wants to watch, I don't know, karate movies half the night. Well, these are kind of different scenarios if you don't have to live with them. But again, are you allowing them to be who they are, or are you trying to change the people? I gotta kind of tweak this idea I have of talking to y'all about this. So allowing, just like when I talk about relationships, people are who they are, and there's a difference between, okay, asking somebody to be more considerate because it is getting on your nerves. Okay, the person tapping their fingers on the desk, letting them know that's what they're doing, because maybe they don't realize it, and then they'll stop because they want to be considerate, rather than telling them, okay, I think you need to, tie some tape around your fingers so that you don't do that. That's something different. Okay. The person going out to the club all the time, their choice. They know their responsibilities about getting up at 5 and everything. Do you constantly tell them not to go, not to do what it is that they're deciding to do, or do you allow them to make their own decision about what they're going to do or not do? You know what I mean? Do you allow the person who likes to watch the martial arts uh, all night to do that, or do you say, well, I think maybe you should turn on the Planet Channel. What is that? One of the science channels. Maybe you should turn the channel to Gaia instead of watching your martial arts. Um, or do you allow that person to enjoy their martial arts, and that's it? Now the consideration would be if that is getting in the way of maybe your sleep or something that you're doing, you can let them know, okay, this, is getting in the way, and can you kind of adjust so that I can do what I need to do? That's something different, right? And so that's kind of what I mean about whether you're allowing people to be who they are versus trying to change them. Now, this can go into different things as far as some people's bad habits or some people's, cultural differences. It can go into a lot of different things, but it all stems back down to whether you can allow people to be who they are, or whether you're determined to try to change them. Because, my opinion, allowing is always the best way to go. Now, when we are concerned and we love people, of course, we may mention things that may be bad for them from time to time, but we don't try to change them. We let them come to conclusions of their own, whether they want to change, because maybe they're fine with who they have decided to be. It's the same way as you're trying to tell a person who's deciding to do something wrong in life not to do it. They've made decisions in their life and they have come to, be okay with it. And because you don't like what they're doing, does not really give you the right to tell them how to live their life. Because ultimately, we all have our lives to live. And so your choice in the matter when it comes to these situations where someone is whatever they're doing is not just a quirk that gets on your nerve, but it's something that you really it's against your morals, against your values, it's against how you want to live. Is you have a choice to allow that person around your space or not. That's really what it comes down to. And it's not about cutting people off. You can love people from a distance. If that person has an issue and you know that that's how they decide to live, then you love them from a distance. It's not your place to force them to decide to do differently. So you can make a decision to keep allowing that person in your space or love them from a distance. But change is up to the individual. And so that's what it comes down to. And so allowing is always the best way. What people do in their lives, whether you like it or not, it's between them and God. The only person, the only entity, the only, they have to answer to God. Of course, the laws that are in place and we have put in place into this world have to, play into that. But it's not up to us to change people. We can inspire people to change. We can show people a different way of being. But the final decision about who a person wants to be is up to them. And so, are you allowing people to be who they are? And yeah, that's been a subject. It's been a subject because, growing up and y'all might, I'm gonna have a line that comes up with some animation. Growing up in New York, y'all know I'm gonna go back to that when I talk about things. I have experienced a lot of different people around me, a lot of people, a lot of different personalities, a lot of different states of being, a lot of attitudes, a lot of everything. I mean, just everything you can name. And so I'm so grateful that has been my childhood. So I think I'm pretty good at it. Nobody's perfect, of course, because we are, this is where ego comes into play, and that's a whole different topic. But it does come into play with it because I think what it comes down to when we are trying to force people to change is our ego. You know, having a cousin hanging around that has an alcohol problem may make you look bad. Well, I'm gonna bring it back to me, right? But it made me look bad, and so I'm trying to force this person to clean it up and change and do better. But this is, you know, their life. Okay, this person over here who could do, you know, so much more in their life as far as financial wise, and it's not, you know, makes me feel away because of course my circle needs to be, you know, making, you know, 1 comma, 2 commas or more. Then I want to go ahead and force that person to change. But if that's what they decide to do, then, you know, but my ego would have me try to do something else. And it can be a number of other things. A person who wants to be promiscuous, because we all know we got at least one of those in the family too, right? The promiscuous person that's in our close vicinity that makes us look bad, because that's ego, right? It's ego. So do we want to not, you know, allow this person around? I mean, that's a whole different story. Do we want to force this person to get, you know, get back together? Or we want to force them to change because, of course, we don't want that around. And this is something you know, of course, because I talk about celibacy, that would, you know, I'm in my ego that I couldn't have that around me because, you know, but that's my ego talking. But if that person hasn't decided to do something different, then that's that person's choice. And so I think it falls down to ego if we're constantly trying to force people to change. But I can inspire this person who may be promiscuous to change, and I can inspire my cousin not to, you know, abuse drinking, and I can show a different way of doing things to another person who's doing something that may not fit into what I think is the best way, you know. And so I'll put it back on me. So, you know, but we all, it's stuff we all have to kind of deal with because all kinds of people. And like I said, growing up in New York, I've seen about, I'll tell you, so much. And so, again, allowing is the best way. I mean, I think especially with people who are desire to inspire people to do better in their lives, you know, allowing people to be who they are so that they can figure out what they want to do for themselves. It is really it might be challenging. It might be challenging. But again, when it comes down to who we want to be, the decision is on us. All right. So I'm here to inspire folks. I'm here to love on folks. And I want to love you no matter what. And so even if it's not what I think should be going on. And so I love you even still, in spite of, despite of, and that's how it is. Now, that's not to say that, you know, I won't love you from a distance if, you know, it's something that just will affect my life negatively. And, you know, you may feel what I'm talking about. However, this is what we deal with. And so what is it for you? What is it that you think about this situation of allowing versus forcing? You know, I've talked about it at length when it comes to relationships, but it comes in the form of all of our relationships. So is it all right to force people to be how you want them to be because they are around you? Or what do you think? Just tell me what you think. All right. I'll be interested to know. All right, on that note, I'm gonna kind of shut it down. It's been a while. I just wanted to kind of, have some combo about something to think about or whatever, and get some ideas about, different opinions about things. All right, and so share if you will. Um, yeah, I know my opinion about it, and it'd be interesting to hear what you got to say. All right, y'all, and so once again, I'm going to go ahead and go. I hope everybody out there is well and doing well. Yes, we got a new calendar year going on and new beginnings, new energies, new things, new adventures to look forward to. And so go ahead and reflect back on your scripting from 2022, just so that you have reason to appreciate, get into that gratitude and celebrate those steps that you see, those things that you see happening in your life. All right. And I'll be around. And so I'm not going anywhere. All right. But you may not see me for a little bit, but it won't be, I won't let it go too long. All right. And so it may not be real soon, but I'll see you soon. All right. Okay, so on that note, I'm gonna go. I hope you're well. Let me give you some love before I go. All right, all right, all right. Okay. Once again, as always, I'm gonna leave you with love and gratitude.